the flow of rapidly changing symbols. Okay. Cogitator takes a few moments to gather the data from the station's active system. According to the report, this door has already been opened. You push a few buttons on the control panel, but the system rebels and keeps resetting your commands. According to the data, the compartment you are trying to open is depressurized. Hello. Hi, Nicodem. Siema. Nie taki pierwszy. The cogitator takes a few moments to gather the data from the station's active system and produces the following message. The protocol has been executed. The passage has been opened. I no wiem. No jest. Muszę sobie to zmienić. Znaczy no... The cogitator takes a few moments to gather this. It has been opened. Oh! Let's open! Cool. Main elevator controls. Few manipulations with the switches make you realize the elevator to the upper chamber is blocked. Co tam słychać w ogóle? Activate the elevator. Processing query confirmed. Must be restored using the cogitator in the guard room. The vid screen blinks and the mechanisms in the machine core emit a quiet hum. Call Riker minorities to help. The system cannot carry out your command despite the eager compliance of the machine's spirit. One thing is certain, the problem does not lie in the cogitator's mechanisms. Step away from the control. Thank the machine spirit and reset the operating protocol. End dialogue. Cool, so we opened those doors. Cool.
The world will bow.
Let's check what is behind. What happened?
Just as he ordained.
Why I can use Medicaid on machine? Data crypt K04OH and flash sample. God damn, I hate this puzzle. Because I don't know how to read properly.
Intriguing.
Okay, so here we are. Remake the control rod. Return to Phalak. Transducer, data crypt connection. Regent flask. More and more servants are being influenced by the immaterium, and it has nothing to do with the child's more frequent tantrums. We have discovered that the corrupted flesh of the mutated reacts most unusually to the crystals we purchased from the Winterscale dynasty. I strongly recommend finally grinding the regent to catalyze blah blah blah. The tech priests blessed the data crypt H41OK for the calculated number of chronoturns, which means it is no longer necessary to remain near the device while waiting for the reaction to start. Wh40ko malfunctioned over the course of the research. I should remind the technomats to deliver the sacred mechanisms into Magos. So, Wh40ko. This is bad. This is broken. H41. Okay. Is a good one. Adamantine. More servants, part 12. Is the same book? No. Keeper Theobald graciously agreed to provide samples of his skin growths so we could study the influence of the rebellious immaterium on the flesh of the Navis nobility. So... this one. Navigators are positively resistant to the restless currents of the warp. The God Emperor truly does shield some people against corruption and misery. But let us get back to the study of mortal flesh. Another servant will be carried in shortly. I must ready the organ extraction equipment. Adamantine dust. So I have adamantine. And black water. This was the worst idea that could have entered my mind. So this and this is no-go. Nevertheless, we did make an important discovery. The adamantine seems to protect the frail flesh of the lowborn to a degree. Having said that, not even the macerator can handle its temper, so we should probably introduce a more complex compound into the formula. All of the data related to the experiment were recorded on that equipped K04OH. I will get back to them later once I am done with experiment H41OK. So I have this one. I have this one, and this one. Those three are okay. We mentioned that the chunk of meteorite found by Keeper's Felix subject is completely useless. Do I have meteorite? Psi crystal. No, I don't. Its shining granules could be used to make new paints for the child. Yes, I think I'm going to do exactly that. So we have what? Do I have this meteorite? Tissue flask? Okay. Data crypt. Catalyst flask. And reagent flask. Reagent. Transducer. Shimmering crystal that emits a ghostly light. I don't have
the opportunity.
the meteorite. Where I can find it. Where I can find it. Medicaid.
Just as I was taught.
Fortunate souls took their own lives by slicing their guts wide open. Seppuku Cool. Meteorite chunk. Okay. So. Experimental section, the child's influence on the emotional state of various representatives of the Imperium. Access level of Serio T prime. Experiment H4545-1. Subgroup lowborn male. Test subjects exhibit signs of acute stress. The majority perished of blood loss within a day of being placed in the laboratory chamber due to the inability to halt the discharge of ocular secretion, tears, and the body's subsequent replacement of these secretions with the connective tissue of its internal environment. Oh. He was crying his guts out? The individuals with the greatest resistance to the sacred child's resonance died several chronoturns later. Extensive wounds in the abdomen, presumably inflicted by a jagged piece of metal. Death was caused by strangulation with the subject's own intestines. God damn. The subject's final shout exhibited concern over abominable tentacles and void worms, hallucinations prescribed to their own internal organs. Great colonoscopy. So these are about the victims of Cassia Orselio. A flesh sample with numerous growths covered in mesh of bluish black veins. This one was working? Forgot. I am done with experiment H41k. All of the data related to experiment were recorded on data crypt K040H. Can I read it? Nope.
Empyrean guides my gaze.
Handful of sparking coal black dust. Okay. Crystal dust. Effulgent shards of an emerald green crystals. And I can do it again with my meteorite chunk. Metal particles mixed in. So don't mix this with this. These are good. These are good. Whatever. I don't know what to do. I really don't know. Let's go with the flash sample. Data crypt 41KO. Let's give it a biogel and a meteorite dust. Yeah, I broke it. So... Oh no.
How fascinating.
Do I really need this? Do I really need to do this? Like for real, for real?
I tread a path unexplored.
Should I divine our next step?
Powers unseen uncover my path.
Hmm. Yep, it didn't work. Let's go with the same stuff but a different powder. Tissue is okay. I gave this. Nope. So the crystal and adamantine are bad. Okay. So none of those works. There's only like a few hundred combinations with this. Hi, bitch. Let's just ban you. Zablokuj squish. This is the second time I'm blocking this spot. Okay. Boom. So the normal flash with crystal is the wrong combination. And I effed up. Okay, so let's move on. I don't need this
Embrace
paint.
true power.
I really don't need this paint that much.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
The whispers told me how.
Corpses was mauled by a force far beyond the mortal capacity. Yeah, like this guy here. Phallic dude. Control rod is required. Have the control rod. What do you mean? Drop this stuff. I don't really need this in my inventory.
The dead know nothing, and neither do the ignorant.
Phallic Orserio looks a little better. His tangled hair is now neatly braided. His wounds are tightly bandaged, and there is some healthy color under the scales of his cheeks. You dealt with the threat and powered the elevator. Well done. I trust you brought the activation rod as well. Remember, every second of hesitation may cost my mistress her life. Idira suddenly cocks her head and drives her nails deep into her shoulder. Then she starts mumbling. The crossroads. There are two paths, both stained with blood, both leading to the accursed eye. They all wear masks, so poor and flimsy. They fall at the slightest touch. One hiding a blind man, another a traitor. Tell me more, what path? I cannot say. One is paved with blind faith, the other with hatred and treachery. Both led to tragedy. You simply have to decide what kind of tragedy you like the most. What do you see behind the masks? My whispers are giggling nastily. They will not speak, the naughty little things. They say that tearing off the mask is your concern. Thank you, I did not understand a single word. Yes, everything is clear now. Yes. As clear as the sun. That station has enough problems without your sorcery, Psyker. Phallic waves Idira off and looks at you expectantly. Keep the key. I have many questions regarding what happened on the station. You think they are worth of the life of my mistress? Yes, everyone is worth. Who is the child mentioned in the documents and reports found on the station? You meddled with something that should have been left alone. The keeper folds his arms and shakes his head disapprovingly. The child is what the station servants call Lady Cassia. For the commoners, dirty mouths must not study her name by uttering it. You see... Cassia. Fuck you. It is not beneficial for all servants to have their vocal organs altered. Some prove to be more useful when they are still able to speak. The madmen I fought were convinced that we were the traitors. Phallic gives an indifferent shrug. That's why they are insane. Will you really heed the ramblings of retainers who dared to raise their hand against the scions of noble bloodline? Cannot be blamed for what happened on the station. Most corpses I discovered were either unarmed or feeble. Can I kill him before going to Cassia? The warp corrupts not only souls, but just as much the body and the mind. Mad and furious, a single servant wielded more strength than an entire squad of the mistress's personal guards. The bodyguards had their minds fogged as well, but their hound will let them hold out just long enough to destroy those who rushed in to assault them with bare hands. Shutting off the power and disabling the security systems. Too many things required special access available only to the keeper of the station. As I'm sure you are aware, there were 2 keepers of the station. Your guess is absolutely correct. Theobald Orselio, the demented old man obsessed with Lady Cassia and her power, and also the one blamed for the woes that have befallen Uruk 5 and our noble line. You are lying. Private conversation between the station's officer. You were very lenient toward them, purposefully neglecting the security protocols. Station system, but Theobald stayed at his side. Which means he did it before the report was filed, of course. Or maybe after. Or Ferek's stern face twists in disgust. You dare suspect me of what happened? The one who is going out of his way to preserve what little there is still left? By the God Emperor, you will keep these slanderous accusations to yourself. I listened to a recording. I was lenient, that is true. And in the end I paid a steep price for it. Just look at the destruction around us. The insurgents have left almost nothing of my home. The keeper spits out the last few words with particular bitterness. Enough lies, Felek. You are the one behind this coup. Felek nods wearily. I suppose it is time to remove my mask. Congratulations, you've got me. But did you really expect me to be sincere the entire time? To welcome you with open arms, an ally of Tisiphone and her monster, the accursed child who has tormented the navigators of House Orselio for years. Don't make me laugh. You arrived to help her completely destroy our house, and I cannot let that happen. What are you bubbling about? I know nothing about Tisiphone or monsters of any kind. The idea of destroying your house becomes more appealing with every word you say. I came here to get myself a navigator, nothing more. You do not? Felek hesitates for quite a while. In that case, accept my sincere apology for the deception and my earlier behavior. I had no intention of making an enemy of von Valancius, nor of destroying the station that served as my home for many years. They left me no choice. You cannot even imagine what monster lurks in the upper chambers. An evil, a plague, a pestilence on our bloodline that seeks to destroy House Orselio from within. And Theobald and his followers just mindless fanatics, serving this evil. Lady Cassia is a scion of a merciless tyrant, but it is not her relation to Tisiphone that is terrifying. She's a monster whose powers drive servants insane in mere turns. A cursed child who can kill a navigator from the Orselio bloodline with just a look. I alone managed to get close enough to her over the years. She loved her guard and trusted me, and at long last I rid my house of the curse. This is the truth. Monster Death will convince you to finally leave the station. I will kill her. If your cursed child agrees to become my navigator, I will gladly rid you of this burden. You do not understand. This is